has hosted Madonna and U2 World Athletics Davis Cup, but it's all rugby sevens. And Canada and Kenya will go at it in Pool D action here. The HSBC stop in Sevilla. Canada need a win, as do Kenya, who went down badly to Australia last week. Otieno, always dangerous carrying the ball. Oyu will captain the side. And Cooper Coates gets the C armband for Canada. Notably, Josiah Mora not in that lineup. He flew home injured. So Canada and Kenya both wanting a victory here. Delighted to be joined by Rob Brickerman. Rob, what's your take so far on this 8:45 a.m. start for both these teams?
Yeah, really good point, Reece. First things first is to get waking up, get yourself going. What we see now is very much the tip of the iceberg. The preparation for this game would have started some 2.5, 3 hours ago. The travel commute in, the warming up, Canadian support on the sideline, awaiting the shops perhaps open to get that morning coffee. These players will be good to go, very different, waking up early to start a game, but they want to start well. Kenya didn't go well yesterday. You mentioned 42-0 versus Australia. Canada, very much a time building.
Yeah, Canada lost to Scotland, as you see there. Again, they would have targeted to win, so they'll have to bounce back. Henry Paul has done a lot of work with this group. I know they're really appreciative of getting these events in with all the restrictions around COVID. Credit to all the World Rugby crew for getting the event off, and it's great to see them out here again. And that Kenyan side, they can beat anyone on their day when they're flying. They've yet to produce big results here. They had 4 losses in Malaga, just by a single score, though. We'll see if they can come through. And Finlay Brown, the Scotsman, vastly experienced, great manner with the players, and we'll be hearing from him on your ref mic. So it is the first of 2 games here in Pool Day. We have Australia and Scotland to follow. But right now it's Canada and Sevilla, and there is the Buffalo. Kenya kicking off from right to left in the dark jerseys. Canada in their traditional red. That ball gathered well in the air by Cooper Coates. Noah Bain gets the start for this one. He's the first receiver. Phil Burnout, back from injury, keeps the play alive with a good offload. First penalty against Kenya at the breakdown.
The Kenyans will be looking for these big shots, using their size and frame to try and stop this momentum Canada looking for. Big men on the ends for Canada. They're trying to play an expansive game.
Yeah, Canada only conceded 15 tries in Malaga, but their try scoring was down as well. Just 9 tries, so that's one of the question marks, is the attacking potential. Melvin Otieno there, fantastic athlete, no stranger putting the big hits in for his Kenyan side. Canada will have a chance to go off a set piece here.
Now you're looking at each other, trying to get the playmakers in the right place. The big man out wide, as I mentioned, can be really utilised well here.
Again, Burnham midfield. A little bit of indecision there. Just avoiding the touchline. Ngongo goes in the scrap position, and he's free. The right hand comes out. He's looking for support. Good initial line break from him. Referee says it's gone back, play on. So Canada well into the Kenyan half, and they'll get the penalty here.
The players need to get out of the way on the floor. Canada not hanging around though.
Noah Bain hits it hard. He tries to put it out the back door. It's off a Kenyan hand, but play on. And Ngongo's going to have an easy run in. He created the initial line break. And Anton Ngongo, the 24-year-old from Victoria, gets the reward.
And it's great that he was rewarded for it. Nice little play from the base, got him there. I like the way he's scanning the field, gets that big right fend out. What an effort. Right in the chest of Odiambo. That gets him in behind, then it's reactionary. Cooper Coates flies on his inside, keeps the composure. Once again featuring in the play later on. Bain, the link man out the back, doesn't quite happen, but you create your own look in the game of sevens. Ball bounces, defenders stand still, and Ngongo takes the initiative.
And Rob, it is a theme that's coming into the sevens game, these one-on-one battles. We saw Ngongo win it to make that line break, and that's so much a feature of the modern game, isn't it?
Totally is, yeah. As with most games in rugby, any type of format, you win in that collision, you've got more chance of getting that advantage to your team. The problem is against Kenya, it's very difficult to win one-on-one battles because they're monsters.
We'll be cheering in Okanagan Rugby Club. So a much more positive start for Henry Paul's Canada team. A massive hanging kick and for Cooper Coates. But can you get their first chance of real possession here? There's Otieno always looking for the contact and most often winning it as he does there. He drags 3 Canadians in. Tabu. Poor pass there. It slows up momentum, but they do gather. Oliambo has a little dabble. Isolated for the moment, but good arriving support from Kenya. Oh, good tackle out wide by Allen. Well, this is very lateral at the moment. Kenya got possession, but not much to show for it. Credit the Canadians, they're working. They're very connected in defense, putting up that red wall. Something Henry Paul's been preaching, and their tackle completion rate is up, although they've been breached right through the middle. Fantastic work from Humwa. Just had enough, really, and was quite direct. He's going to take his time putting it down. But Herman Humwa gets his 8th try in the HSBC World Series.
Well, 8 tries for the number 8. It was strange to see a Kenyan shirt filmed by someone other than Amonde, but that is a pass into the next generation. Speaking of which, Otieno, just a bulldozer, isn't he? High tackle there, wasn't pulled, but still he carries on. 3 defenders broad, and you mentioned really patient defence it was, but when you're that spread, it just takes that half gap a little bit. The deception, Ergas draws away from him, and then Humwa strides his way under the H. 3 defenders.
Yeah, Otieno always talking, always having fun out there. So with the try under the post, the conversion's good. 7 points to 5, Kenya up. That one's been overcooked, or has it? Yes, the flag goes up. Off the kickoff. That's an interesting call. It can't be a line out, I don't believe. It's either straight out off the kickoff.
Okay, thank you.
There we'll come all the way back. Canada will have a free kick at the half. Seven's interpretation.
Yeah, nothing. I wanted to start quickly. Any broken play is going to help. Kenyans looking pretty fresh in their new kicks, using them well.
Cooper Coates, a role we've seen Nathan Hirayama over the years. Obviously a whole swath of Canadian players retired post-Olympics. They were top 8 down in Tokyo. This is scrappy stuff. 2 knock-ons, said the referee. Yeah, and that's often the case. Rob, you've been in teams like that where there's a big turnover, a whole generation of players retires, and then you've got to rebuild. Yeah,
we're not talking about 1 or 2 players. You're right here, Reece, you know more than anyone been involved with Rugby Canada, but it's a generation of players. Think about the IP of Hirayama, Justin Douglas, Harry Jones, big names, big personalities, and Connor Braid, Connor Traynor, synonymous names with Canadian Sevens. This new generation stepping up, just 3 players in double figures from them in terms of events played. So they know it's a slow burner, but they've got to try and win these games.
Yeah, quick tack from Tabu. I wouldn't mind a Mike Fulafo out there when I'm playing Kenya as well. Gagnon comes back, makes the tackle. Kenya got some real urgency in their step. They're inside the Canadian 22. 2 players running through the middle. Berna finally brings him down, just 5 meters out now, Kenya. They look both sides, nothing's on. On his toes is Tabu. Oh, the give and go, but it's going to be forward. Otherwise, brilliantly created opportunity.
You and Tabu. That was pretty special, over the top. Humwa making his way to this breakdown. What a shame. Lovely play, wasn't it? Much more experience from this Kenyan team.
Yeah, look at this. The defender's sucked in. There's the pop pass. Just a hint forward. Great refereeing, got to be said. Finley Brown in good position there. and the head was stolen, or was it?
Fair competition for the ball, it's just a reset.
We've seen quite a few actually, unknown normally in the game of sevens, scrimmage against the head. Normally you put the ball on the left-hand side. Some teams are experimenting putting it on the right-hand side, which is the tight head. This is a more traditional type of scrum, but the Kenyans are trying to hook it. The big emphasis at the moment is the hookers have to strike the ball.
If you're new to rugby, obviously the Canadians have the advantage here. Their hooker a bit closer to that ball, and there is a clean strike there. And Gagno's going to kick it off the field. Canada will group at halftime. Cooper Coates and the Canadian team are down by a conversion. 7 points to test of this Canadian defense, but only breached it once in the first half. Oh, and we talked about the power and the pace, the mix. And Alvin Otieno, unstoppable.
We'll finally get to see Alvin Otieno rightly celebrate. Clearly, they're trying to finish off the rest of his head. Got the Ombrillo pad on the back of it. Big smiles from the big man, and this is what it's about. He's so hard to tackle. Otieno gets a fend out. You then forget about the fact he's flying at about 33 kilometres per hour down the sideline. A powerhouse of the game of sevens, and a personality to boot.
27 years old, but he acts like a 12-year-old out there. He absolutely loves playing this game of sevens. The Canadians could not deal with him, even though it was only a 5-meter channel. So a dream start for the Kenyans. Eric Ogwenya, their manager, and Innocent Simio will be very happy, and those gentlemen will not be. Henry Paul will be disappointed. We talked about their tackle completion had improved, but that was not good enough. Kenya will take the lead, 12 points to 5. That one's going forward off a Kenyan hand. Advantage being played. Noah Bain has a look.
It's no advantage, always under pressure.
And a rare advantage awarded to Canada.
Chance now to take stock. Substitution being made. With Teal coming back on.
Yeah, this is big. Obviously, Canada. Going into Canada and CBC TV. Great to have them on board. CBC Gem. Gives me a chance to wish my mother, Gillian Reese, 82-year-old birthday today. Happy birthday, Mom. Hope you're watching. Rumor has it she's been carried home, had too much wine already, but they had a good party to celebrate. But now Canada trying to make a party happen here. They're down by a try. It's Ergas. Powers through. Thielen. Again, 4 pass up high, and now they've chosen to go to the boot. Not quite deep enough. And Kenya will gather through Humwa. Good balance running. Again, Kenya looking for the edges. That's a better tackle from Canada. It's gone infield and it's gone forward from Mwale.
That's a great shot from Berner, wasn't it? Mentioned about the size of these Kenyans to really manhandle one down the touchline. It's impressive stuff. Mwale flying down the side, but Berner well up for the challenge. Gets rid of the fend, and then it's a chest on chest. Good old grapple in the midfield. The ball going forward as a result.
Yeah, the Vancouverite there, 25-year-old Phil Berner from the UBC Thunderbirds. Sort of sending a message to some of the younger players. This is how it's done, boys. You got a big Kenyan in the 5-meter channel, get the shoulder in under the chin, and it works. Cooper Coates to put in. Again, a sloppy scrum, but it is gathered. Ergas on the outside. He's got the pace. Can he get free? Just for a moment, and then he's reeled in by Oliok. Ngongo just holds off the counter ruck from Kenya until misreads the options, but he gets back into play. Good work from him. He's got the right arm free. He offloads to Berner, but they come back in field. Canada will regroup. The coach knocked backwards unceremoniously, and there come the Kenyans in a counter ruck.
Stand up.
And Teal's playing the ball off his feet. Options here for Kenya out wide. Hard in field goes Mwale. They're keeping the ball alive. This is good offloading. Humwa. And finally it comes back to Mwale. He's 2 meters out. There's options around. Tony Omondi, try for Kenya.
Well, we did a bit of a feature this week about offloads. That is how you do it. They had as many offloads in that sequence of play as South Africa had all tournament last week. keeping that ball alive, riding through that contact, and the support play was sublime. First one, Wale gets it free, keeps it alive again. Humber involved, how good has he been? Out the back of the right, once again Wale taking it forward. Sequential play, backing up each other. That is quality from Kenya.
Well, there's 4 black jerseys in our shot. They're all in a diamond formation, options everywhere, and the Canadians just can't cover all the threats the Kenyans pose.
It's reaction rates, not often that first offload that's going to get you success. It's the third, fourth, backing up the plays. You cannot defend it when the ball does not die.
And once again, the conversion misses. Kicking's been a bit of an issue for the Kenyan side. About 50% conversion rate. Jake Teal's going to want to get back. His team needs a quick score, just over 2 minutes here in the second half.
We get number 5 to leave.
This will be Canada's second loss in Pool D. And Kenya are right back in the mix. Scotland and Australia still to come here in Sevilla.
Advantage.
Advantage being played. Ergas takes it forward. The troops arrive. Teal sees an opening on the blind. He's off. He's going to need some support. Oh, he tries to keep the ball alive, but Ngongo was just trying to get there for the ruck.
And knock on.
Advantage again to Canada. Come back for the scrum. So a little bit scrappy from the Canadians, a little bit of indecision about offload versus ruck.
And that's when they've got to make these decisions. They're seeing snapshots all the time, these Sevens players. We're lucky enough to see it from a much removed position, but when you're in the heat of it, you see a gap on the left-hand side, you go. Teal, the man that made it, got a bit of a shot in his face, I think, not to help the matters, but then he isolates himself, and as soon as you're surrounded by 4 Kenyans, it's going to be difficult. Initially, the tackle couldn't be made from Onyala, but then the support came back in, and you can see in this shot, the amount of Kenyans in and around the ball makes it such a battle. I think he got a bit of a hit in his eye, maybe.
Well, that's Abbotsford, BC's version of the Buffalo. Big Jake Teal going down there. But he got a shot, and he's down at the moment. Yeah, the offload is very much a point being discussed, as you mentioned. South Africa literally not including it in their game and winning all over the place.
Coaches will always talk about the risk of an offload. Now, for me, I love it. I think it keeps that game going alive. But in terms of efficiency, if you are fit and fast, then why would you have to risk that offload? And that's how South Africa play the game. It's very difficult to break down when they've got it because they just don't lose it.
Yeah, check out the expert view on the World Rugby site or the HSBC World Series. A few early morning coffees here in Sevilla.
Looks like they are. Excellent. Look at that. What a zoom.
Set.
It's a stunning town here in Sevilla. Canada needs something, and they need it quickly. Just less than a minute and a half to play. Ergas gets free again. But again, that pace matchup. Holyoke is up to the task in defense. And Kenya look at a quick one, but there's no need at the moment. They're in control.
How amazing would it be to have the name perfectly suited to be quick? Ergas flying around that outside, looks so threatening, doesn't he, when he gets going, but it's just that awareness to know you can go far and then stop, and what he used to call is a pull-out. You come back out the way. He finds the space, there he goes. At that point, if he thinks he's going to be reeled in, to just draw back a bit. You don't have to take that tackle, certainly against Kenya.
And that is the step up playing on the HSBC World Series. There's a lot of men who have pace on the series, whereas in a club tournament or a regional tournament, he may be gone at that stage. Kenya choosing to kick in behind. Coach is going to clean it up. He does well.
No
Kenya penalized at the ruck. Canada just looking for something. The second loss will mean they're not in the top 8. That one comes out. This could be another try conceded. Onyala still going. The hoot is sounded. Vincent Onyala gets Kenya's 4th try.
Well, it's been a bit of a sticky game, perhaps representative of the time of day, but they're not bothered, loving it in the crowd. With Jambo to the Kenyan supporters, but it's just about that reaction, getting that ball at the base. Ball's out, you can play on. And it lit the fuse for this Kenyan team to see off Canada. Difficult game, difficult time of day, but that's sufficient. It's a shame the Canadians couldn't give Mrs. Reese the birthday present she clearly wanted.
No, it's handshakes all around. Kenya respond really, really well after a big loss yesterday. And they beat Canada full time, 24 points to 5.